Hey, let's take a look at the Ambisonics section in 300 grand. So, Ambisonics is a very unique way of recording something. What it does is it takes 4 microphone capsules and then records them all at once and then converts it later into virtual microphones that you can point and direct anywhere you want. So it's like a 3D microphone in essence. So we've done that with a couple of libraries. We have Concert Grand for production voices. That was our first library that did Ambisonics recording. And 300 grand is our second library with Ambisonics. And when we get into the Ambisonics section, you can see that there's going to be some incredible flexibility that we've got with this. So I've loaded up the 300 grand 32 velocity Ambisonics preset, and this gives us the most flexibility with the sound. And I'm just going to switch this right away to a different microphone preset, the Ambisonics preset. You can see that these are all the presets that I've created for you for Ambisonics. And this is the Blumline, Bloomline, however you want to pronounce it. I'm going to play in something other than C today. So good old A flat. Okay, so let's take a look at what we've got. Over here it shows the microphone perspectives, and these are linked. So then if you split this section in half, it's identical. It's like a mirror. So this is the left side, this is the right side. And how the Ambisonics works is it's creating a stereo image out of 2 microphones that are coming from the Ambisonics. So if I go back and I choose a cardioid pattern, which means that the microphone's only picking up from the front, and then I give it some width over here, you can see that those are the cardioid patterns. And then these are pointing straight ahead at the microphone, at the piano, I should say. Okay, I'm going to bring the width back to center. And then this is the angle at which you're seeing this. And this should collapse to mono. So this should sound mono because it's 2 microphone perspectives just facing forward. As I'll just arpeggiate this here and then change the angle. Just opening up the angle a bit, right? And then if I get like a hypercard sound, it's going to be even more. So then to create your typical XY, you'd want to go 45 degrees on this side, 45 plus that side gives you your 90 degrees. You can go this a little bit wider, a 110 or something to get you the different mics. Now, if I change the angle and I go to the rear, where this is showing that it's pointing to the rear, I have to give some width so that you can see that this is now pointing backwards, right? Let's do the card as an example, and it's going to point backwards. Is that instead of hearing the direct piano in front of it, it's hearing the reverb from behind. So this is, well, you'll still get direct piano. You're going to get, I'm going to change it around. So this is direct piano. Apologize for my rhythm. So then that's going more towards the hall. And if you want a mono hall, as you spread out the angle, and then we can choose a bunch of different microphone perspectives as well. And if I go in closer to figure of 8, it's going to pick up from the front and back of the microphone, so then this angle is less important, but I'm going to go at a 45 degree and bring it back in. This is going to be your typical Blumline configuration. And give it some pseudo width. And you can play around with these. Let's point the angle. It's kind of fun to hear it kind of phase in and out as you move the direction of these. So pretty flexible. You have the ability to change the microphone polar patterns and where they're pointed and with the angle. and combine them. You can also mono take off one of these, and the panning is set for each of these, as you can see across here. So then you can choose this to be just one thing. Mono is pretty easy anyways. You just choose, omnidirectional, and that's just right up the middle, all of them. So if you use external over here, output assignment to external, you have to have some sort of decoder. We'll do that in another video, show you the external. What it allows you to do is also do what's called the Z plane, which is point the microphone up or down, so you can point it to the ceiling and the floor, as well as fully rotate around the head, the listening that you have. So Ambisonics, if you want to just explore some of them, I've created some pretty cool little creation. Number one, for example, is kind of like a half MS pattern. I'll do a chromatic scale maybe. And it's easy. Each of these presets doesn't load any samples. It just loads the settings on this, so then they go by pretty fast. So there's the room. If you wanted more like a direct piano, that's it. So you can explore each of these presets as you go through. And that's the Ambisonics channel. Over here, it just has all the settings from the mixer page, the same channel on it. So when you combine those together, you have quite a lot of flexibility to get some awesome tones out of this piano from the Ambisonics section.